sandalwood is appropriate for cleansing. And though we know that we cannot heal quickly, we want to move towards a journey of healing.
Because there are all these things I've wanted to do. I've wanted to be an activist. I've wanted to be an artist. I'm neither of those things. But I've felt that as a teacher, I've been able to help facilitate that. Right? That's part of what I feel like I've done with my life. I've tried to build institutions or build parts of institutions that are open to all kinds of people. I think part of my activism was to be an out Black lesbian as a dean at New York University and to just do it.
Like,
you know.
Follow.
Table. It's been a problem.
I think that it's imperative that we be as passionate about our work as possible and to not sell ourselves short, to make space. You have to take and make the space and expand the space and to continue to push the space. So I'm a big proponent of whatever place or space you occupy it, create it, and expand it, and just be creative. We're artists, we're thinkers, we're visionaries, we're rebels. It's important to just figure it out and make it happen. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have the degree. You don't have to have the training. You can figure it out as you go. Ask your community for support.
Because we had such, the history of cinema in South Africa has impacted local films. Write if you can. Take a picture if you can. If you can't do any of those things, put money into people who are making things, even in small ways. Tell a story.
I bet all those postmortems that they do to all those victims, it will not reflect the true essence, the true cause of death. Because for them, it's something foreign, it's something that do not exist.
So there's so much work that we have to do, and the stuff that Zanella is doing, she doesn't understand how groundbreaking it is. Maybe she does, but it is revolutionary. She's saying, hey, let's just tell the stories. Whereas the model is, let's wait for the story to be, let's wait for someone to give us permission to tell the story.
My name is Mecca Jamila Sullivan. I was born and raised in Harlem, New York, which, as we've talked about, is a beautiful and fraught place, like so many in the diaspora world. And it's a place that causes me a lot of joy and also a lot of pain to see it change and watch parts of it disappear. I'm a fiction writer and an academic and an activist. So part of why I'm here is that I identify my work as being feminist, academic, activist, and artist work. And it's work that's kind of hard to do all at once and impossible to do all at once without community.
I see that I have been accepted in different communities because I know them to do the work that I do and hardly ever announce that I'm gay.
And the worst part is, most of these crimes, it's people that we trust most. That person whom I call a brother is the one who wants to prove a point. You say, how come you have such a beautiful woman and I don't have such a beautiful woman? And as a result, by trusting this person, you end up compromising your life. Every day when I drive home late at night, I get so scared. Because I don't know who's waiting. I don't know if I will arrive home. Not because of the type of work that I'm doing, but because of my orientation.
Has democracy left South African men after a point or a target to which they can direct their anger? And so gays and lesbians become an easy target. And it ties into one of the common things that you hear in South Africa constantly with respect to hate crimes, especially against lesbians, is that South African men, particularly black men, are sort of battling to accept, the erosion of their social and traditional power. And I always find that usually problematic. One, because there is no excuse for violence against anyone. But secondly, there's no acknowledgement of the fact that their claims to that power were illegitimate to begin with. You know, it's like we would never, well we do, but it's less socially acceptable if white people sort of whine about, you know, the erosion of their power. There's a recognition that white power was illegitimately gained, but we're not making inroads into this idea that men are entitled to that particular power in our society.
You know, when Zanele was giving up the presentation, it really gives me a hard moment to think of it. That the exhibit that is there, the horsepower that has been used, no one cares about it. That is the crucial exhibit. But instead, it will just lie there because no one cares.
I am very much a believer in making present what is absent, and the Toni Morrison quote of, if there's a book that you want to read, then you must write it, is something that's guided me through.
But just because someone just feels that you don't deserve to live.
And I found myself getting angrier and angrier every time I watched the show, because again, the woman that they were profiling was one woman. You know, she had a family, and by family I mean she was a mother, she was a wife, she was straight, she was still not me. I had to go into that space and help translate to South Africa the very many versions of women, or the many various faces of women. And again, I had a fangirl moment. Fly is here.
Just find whatever technology you have, use it, and share it as far and wide as possible, or just taking it into their own hands and just making films. They're just making films and putting out films. And I think that that relates to what I was just saying, is that we need to just take up the space.
4 years ago.